Not a picture postcard, ladies and gentlemen, but the real McCoys. And snowbirds who migrate here will recognize yonder lean-to as Idaho's luxurious Sun Valley Lodge, a landmark on winter's high road to paradise. So while the old skating rink gets a dusting off, let's you and I go see what's jumping among these snow-covered hills and dales. There, of all people, is Mama Thorgerson's boy, evidently starting out with the same idea. Well, fancy meeting you here, Butch. And who's the pretty girl? Why, it's Miss Louise Watson, stranger, a California co-ed, a mighty good skier, and none of your business. Along about now, as the dog team mushes over the trails, there comes a breathless feeling which may be attributed to one of three causes. The dogs, of course, come by it honestly. The trails are soft, and the dogs are pulling a heavy load. The second cause may be the altitude, for these are the Sawtooth Mountains, rising 9,000 feet above sea level, and it takes the tourist a few days to acclimate himself to the slightly rarefied air. The third cause is what troubles that sleigh-riding reporter out there, being hemmed in on all sides and overcome by the breathtaking beauty of it all, the faker. Second only to skiing, which is the major activity hereabouts, is the art sport, where experts and tyros mingle in a profusion of school figures, leaps, and spins, where accent on form is a byword, and three-part harmony is a combination of timing, balance, and skates appeal. Exponent of these fascinating fandangos is Hans Johnson, a teacher who imparts to an attentive pupil here the secrets of a graceful dancing spin. And then into camera focus comes a flaxen-haired young lady with a skating repertoire that marks her for championships and stardom within the coming year. She's Denver, Colorado's pride, Miss Yvonne Broders by name, and I do mean it takes a camera to do right by our lovely Nell. Further evidence of the young lady's flawless talent when the slow-motion camera analyzes her jump turns, Paulson leaps, and other acrobatics in a revealing study of skill, coordination, and graceful ease. Her whirling pirouette, from tip-top to skate blades, everything under perfect control in one of the most eye-filling ice keepers of them all. Me for you, my lovely. And what's cooking here, kiddies? Well, frozen fossils, I do declare, and true to life, too, if one doesn't scrutinize. The covered wagon looks like it might have come through a blizzard, but they was hardy folks, partner. Come wind, hail, sleet, or snow, they just weathered the gale. Well, land sakes alive, the sweater looks slightly familiar, Butch, but where in the world did we hook up with that rescue squad? You shouldn't go poking around these mountains alone, son. Think what might have happened away out there if those pups had never seen a newsreel. Sun Valley's Midwinter Sports Carnival brings the high flyers from all parts of the country to the famed Rudd Mountain Slide, where the spectacular jumping competition provides chills and thrills galore. The hill is fast, the cast is ready, and when a bugler's call echoes through the hills, the show is on. 2 jumps allowed each competitor, with 3 judges scoring form in the air, landing, and distance of the leap. Another birdman takes wing, but something happens. He's off balance in the air, a bad landing, and the slow-motion camera catches the impact and the spill. Wingless wonders, they call them, the wonder being that they live to get up and try it again. A 5-star combination to close the show, leaping in unison, soaring to a 5-point spot landing on the frosty carpet far below. To acquire a little extra savvy on this spectacular phase of the pastime, we're concentrating on the past master of them all, Alf Engen, America's current 4-way ski champion, and confidentially, a lad who would recognize most of the world's leading slopes if he saw them while walking in his sleep. For he's practically jumped his way from Norway to California. So here we are, lying low on the landing hill as Engen, with a slide all to himself, unfurls a bit of flying form that even the birds might envy. In leaving the takeoff, Engen ski tips are pointed like the leading edge of an airplane wing at the angle of least resistance. If pointed too high, they'd cut down his flying speed and distance. Too low would also slow him down. And once again, while a couple of Killaloo birds look on in bewildered fascination, Engen flies through the air to a perfect telemark landing. What a fine art when it's done like that. Quite the handiest buggy for getting places here is the ski bus that brings us now to the base of the highest mountain in the Sawtooth Range. And here again, science has contrived to save wear and tear on the skier with a series of mammoth ski lifts that transport the snowbird from valley floor to mountain peak. A 2-mile, 20-minute ride, rising more than 3,000 feet from bottom to top. This masterpiece of engineering, incidentally, is the largest lift in North America. So who should be going up in this super-duper elevator but Professor Engen and the Slewfoot reporter, who, while half asleep this morning, signed up to go on a ski chase. So if I'm not with you at the end of the epic, remember, folks, he crashed with his skis on. Hey, what's that? We're being shadowed. For the Snow Bunny taking his first trip in one of these mountain jitneys, there's a strange and pulsating thrill. For up here in this white, silent grandeur, the stillness is broken only by the soft humming of the cable overhead. Far below, the town is a Lilliputian toy, reflected in the warm, brilliant rays of a winter sun, which reminds us that the end of this joyride is just about in sight. So gather your wraps, kiddies. We're taking off here at the summit of Baldy Mountain, highest peak in the range. All out, Chumley. End of the line. That's a long way to fall. It's also a little windy. Before we take off on our downhill chase, Professor Engen gives us a quickie on how to do the kick turn. A handy maneuver to know, as you're about to find out, Butch. He makes it look mighty simple, but then he knew how to ski before he was able to walk. And at long last, we seem to be on our way. Which way will be up to Engen, who will break the downhill trail for us in a follow-the-leader chase. And if you've ever done this, my fellow Snow Bunny, you know that therein comes one of the greatest thrills that can overtake you in a lifetime. For as we come gliding down from the crest of the starting hill, there's the sensation of traveling on winged sandals, a thrill-a-minute ride, every turn, bank, or leap demanding a different approach. Thrilling to see is the poise, ease, and confidence of experts like Engen, who takes a daring leap at high speed and in perfect stride. Now and then a spill, but that's all a part of the sport. There's a trick, too, in knowing how to fall, as any fledgling will prove in a tumble down a steep and trackless mountainside. But we live to learn, and unmindful of the snow bath, eagerly get up to try it again. I leave it to you, ladies and gentlemen. Are we or are we not in a mess up there? We're gathered now for another assault on Engen's trailblazing snow tracks, with the professor about to unleash some of his supercharged momentum. And believe me, he travels with all stops out. Those in the gang who follow him now are the lads and lassies who can travel at high speed. For here, in a bewildering array of jump turns and Christies, is downhill skiing at its best. Needless to say, along about this time, ye old rocking chair reporter abandons this merry snow trails chase, believing that he who knows his limit and moves to the sidelines out of the way is the fellow who lives to ski another day.